class is being second period, first period completed. So now try to understand. Now let me first period completed now. So now I'm going to run this one. So now you have gotten this much of output. That is called now your lambda function executed. So here I tried to brief first of all in the starting. It takes many arguments, but returns only one expression. Here in the first lambda function, one argument I have kept. Okay, this is the expression. Here two arguments. Okay, only one expression. So any arguments, more argument it takes, but it returns only one expression. Now this is okay. Now come down here where in between a def function I have used here. Na? So if I want to call it, where is this? This is na. Okay. Now you compile this one. What is we are getting what? 12. Vasu is for what? It returns where? Vasu returns by whom? Simple expression. This is simple one class declared under this one method. Now by method called as a class method. Okay, now Vasu. After that, lambda function declared one with one argument. After that, expression. Now 8 added with this 4. Okay, this and 8 passed to num argument. Now that is 12. Now come down. This is what next one more. So if you want to get this printout statement by the def keyword, you need to put the print keyword here. Print bracket, add 1 and bracket and whatever the value you want to pass. Now that is what happened. So it gives same output. 12. One more 12 you will get. Syntax error. Why one more bracket you need to pass here. So now you try to understand. Okay. Now 2 12s. 2 12s. Try to understand 1 12 by the def keyword. The same lambda function I tried to explain by the def function. Okay. So here, what is the simplicity of the lambda function? Why most programmers use lambda function? See here. In function, we need to use return keyword. Okay, suppose if it is a return type, but lambda function, no need to use return keyword. Okay, so I have studied in the many texts in documentation, Python and Java, many where lambda function, it has somewhat special role. That's why today I want to take the class over that. So this is okay over. Now come down here, 2 parameter. Suppose if I want to write this in def function. So how to write this def function? Okay. So to use this, simply you keep a keyword, that is what def function. After that, take a function name, any function name you can take. Suppose sum is a function name. The function suffixed with the parenthesis bracket, they're called bracket. After that, colon. Now come under this, it returns what? X z into y. Okay, use return keyword. Okay, return, because you want to get somewhat return value, na? So that's why return what? Z into y. Z into y. Okay, now come down. Z into y. Come down. What is this? Enter. Okay. Now you request for a print statement. Print. Okay. Within the bracket. Suppose if you simply call some function, what happened? Okay. If you simply call some function, nothing, you will not get anything. it gives error. Java interpreter gives that you are missing positional arguments. Okay, you are missing what? Positional arguments. Okay, so let us see. So it is giving what? Function sum. So okay, it is giving this type of that moment. Okay, you come down here. So now here, suppose if it is you are passing two values are here. Okay, first of all, you need to put that values here. Okay, that is very important. Huh? Okay, as a parameters, z comma y. So z comma y. Now I have passed the parameters and return type I have used. I am calling this function directly. Now it is a function. It is not part of a class. It is not a method. Simply. So it is giving error were expected 0. Why? Because this is a function. Function always terminated with the column. Now you come down. Interpreter gives a lot of help to you. Okay. Now this type of you are getting. So now you need to call, you need to pass the values under this function. Okay. Pass 5, 6, 9. Okay. Now one more bracket you need to pass here. So okay, now for z you have passed 6 as argument, for y you have passed 9. Now compile this. So now what is the result? You are getting 54. 6 9s are 54. So the same thing for the lambda function. Where is this? This is the lambda function. Only 2 lines of statement. Okay. For this same 8 9s are 72. No? So you take you put this 8, no issue. 8. Okay, if you compile this one, run this one. Okay, 72 72. So this is I have written for with the def keyword, as I have created a function. Function name is equal to sum. I have passed 2 parameters z comma y. For it is a return type, so return type keyword I need to use. It returns what? A multiplication value. So whenever I call the function, I need to pass the values as argument for these x, z, y parameters. Okay, so same I have used the I tried to use lambda function here. So in the second period also I am going to explain, as I told you, that it is anonymous function, because there is no in just I am using here. See here, function name is equal to add. Whenever I use def keyword, function name is equal to what? Add. But here I have used only the lambda. It is a keyword and num is an argument. So this is the expression. Okay, it is an algebraic expression. And this total lambda function assigned to a variable x, total lambda function assigned to a variable x. After that, that lambda function called by this by this variable. Oh, simply I have. So as I told you, as per the definition of our lambda function in Python, it is anonymous. It is anonymous means unnamed function. So clearly I am stating here in the def, whenever I want to create functions in the Python, so I will use the def keyword after that function name. Okay. So here no any name I have used here in this total statement. So that is called, it is lambda function is called anonymous function. Okay, unnamed function. Okay, as per, okay, this is clear. It is an unnamed function, takes many arguments. Okay, initially I told to brief one argument. After that, 2 arguments I have passed, but only one expression will be executed. So now let us see to give 3 more arguments here. Okay, so one more, suppose is I am using here lambda. First commenting what? Lambda function lambda function with how many arguments? With 3 arguments. Let us try. 3 4 doesn't matter. four arguments. Okay, let us see. So how to write the first with the keyword lambda. Okay, then after argument, take any how many four arguments, no? Take any four arguments, comma x, comma y, comma z, comma yes. After that column. Okay, now expression. What do you want to get the expression? Whether you want to multiply, whether you want to add anything. So this is dot. Okay. X, Y, Z. Yes. Yes is what. Okay. Now column. Now come down. Here it is giving error because you have missed the expression. So as a programmer, if you are doing programming, so the interpreter or compiler, these are translator programs, they will help a lot you. Okay, if you do anything, they will turn red. So red, whenever you keep your mouse, it will explain that expression is expected. If you study the theory, you can simply get idea. Okay, I am missing here. So expression what? Already we have understood that, but it returns but it returns only one expression. I explained that what is expression, what is the equation. So now you pass this, whether which expression, whether you want to add, whether you want to subtract, whether you want to division. So simply I want to suppose add. Add means what? X plus Y plus Z plus yes. So I want to get this addition here. Now come down here, you call this total lambda function. So this total lambda function, how can you call this total lambda function? Simply you assign this lambda function to a variable. Okay, to a variable. Variable take t is equal to variable. Yeah, actually this, what is this? This name is called PyCharm. It is have somewhat eraser, erasing everything. So you cut this. You cut this. Okay, okay now. Now t is equal to what? T is a variable. Now you paste that. Otherwise it erases. You paste. Now lambda. Okay. Now you cut lambda. So you paste now. Otherwise it is giving trouble to me. So what I did here, the total lambda function assigned to a variable. So now simply I can call that variable. Okay, t. Okay, and bracket. Otherwise, if you suppose if you don't want to assign this total lambda function to a variable, how can you call this total function? Okay, so by simply variable. So now I have called that variable. Now pass these values for these arguments. So take any, suppose 6 is one number, 8 is one number, 9 is one number, and not one more, 10 is one number, and close that. Okay, one more bracket you need, otherwise it gives error. So now what will be the result? Let us try to understand. If I run this code, so you are getting what? 31. What is that? Is result 31. 4, 8, 12, 9, 20, 21, 10, 31. So how many arguments I have passed here? 4 arguments. So as per the lambda function definition, it takes many arguments. It is cleared. It is anonymous, unnamed function, as I told you that. So that function, whatever by using of traditional functions, build user-defined function. It is user-defined function. Print function, it is a built-in function. So built-in functions means previously defined programmer who have designed this Python. Okay. Van Diesel, I like that somewhat a name is there. Okay, Van Rosem Diesel. Okay, so this is the print function. So many built-in function: print, length. Okay, type function. Somewhat in type conversion. In the type conversion, I have put a video in our YouTube channel. Okay, actually that is for your helping. because I am keeping this much of efforts. I pledged that I will teach the classes up to my last breath. Okay. So if these classes to be put somewhere in repository warehouse, otherwise, if my mobile crashed somewhere, that moment, this total efforts will be going waste. So that's why I want to keep somewhere. That is one point, and many students have requested that, sir, if I have joined the classes in the mid time, what about that missed classes? I told that don't worry, I will send 1,000 lines of code which was written in the mobile, and apart from that, my classes will be kept in YouTube, and you refer that, and you come to the classes with the full knowledge. Doesn't matter. Okay, now, what is next is what Mm, ah, the point is to be, as I told you, that it is unnamed. So in the Lambda function, and I have not used any function name here, anonymous function. So next topic is what? Comment is Lambda function used in another function. Lambda function will be used in another function. Another function mean what? Another function always that will be defined another function with the keyword, def keyword. Okay, let us see how to use this Lambda function in def. Okay, another function. That is one more point. 2 periods. I'm going to convert. Time is what? I think 10 minutes are there. I will try to finish. Otherwise, no, the next class on Saturday we will meet. No issue. Okay. Now, next topic is, as I told you that. So Lambda function can be used in another function as anonymous. Okay, this is the topic. So now let us come down here. So first of all, we can use Lambda inside another function. Okay. So first of all, how to do that? Declare a function with the def keyword. Okay, that is very important. And then take, as I told you, that once function is declared, so you need to keep a function name. Suppose function. Funct, simple. This is enough. Function must be suffixed with the brackets. Okay, that is what parent. These are called parentheses. After that, colon. Okay, if you want to pass any parameter, that is your as per your choice. Okay, now come down. So function is declared, but there is no any statement defined. Okay, now this function is called, it is what return type. You want to keep return type function. So yeah, I want to keep it as a return type function. So if you return type, I want to pass somewhat parameter here. Okay, then come down. Now function is created, but without, it is not defined with any statements. Now I'm going to define. So once a parameter is passed, it is what I told you, that it is what return type. It is what return type. So return type always return. It returns what? It returns under, I am going to write the Lambda function here with the, it returns the Lambda. Lambda what? As per the syntax, A is an argument. Now expression A into N. Now what happened? This is as per our statement now, as we have studied that. What is the Lambda function? Lambda function starts with the keyword Lambda, then argument, after that colon expression. Now this Lambda function used inside of a function. Normal, our traditional functions. The function is name is equal to func function. It has a parameter N. It returns. Okay. Now it returns what? Okay. What it returns? So now what it does, it doubles the number. How it doubles the number? Let us see. So create a variable here. Double is a variable. Now under this double, you call this function. Okay, double is a variable. Now you call this function. What is our function name? Because the total lambda function becomes the part of your function. Okay, now if you call this function simply, it is not a method, so simply you can call this function, okay, with the but. Now what happened? You need to if you call this function, it gives error because now you have passed a parameter here. So you need to pass argument, positional argument here. However, let me check that what happened as a programmer. So what it does, so it is giving error here. It is missing one required positional argument n. We need to pass one required positional argument for this n. So pass any value like 8. So then what happened? 8. I have passed the value here. Now, so it returns what? Now it will not return anything because you are not requesting any print statement. So whenever you requesting for any print, you need to call this variable print doubla. It doubles, as I told you that this function doubles now. So now come down here under the double. So 8 passed to n. Okay, what about this argument? What about the argument? In the lambda function, whenever we have declared any lambda function, so that variable will be called. Now variable is what here? Double is variable. So double, now pass the variable argument. So now 2. If you have passed that, so now what happened? It doubles. So you will get the double 16. Where is that syntax error? One more bracket you need. It's nothing but. Now you compile this code, run this code. So you are getting 16. So what I did here, try to understand, student. So as per the lambda function, I have commented here, lambda function can be used, will be used, can be used. Can be used, that is so many difference here. Can be used in another function. So same thing, I tried to keep this in another function. So it doubles that. So now if I want to triple the number, so you make one more, that is what variable in Python, the triple, you assign that, you call this function, func. So now you pass any value. So now what happened? It triples. So triples, how it triples? So now this is a 6 you passed for what? N. Okay, whenever you are calling this function, you have passed 6 as an argument. Now you call the print function, default print function, and pass the variable, that is the triple. Okay, that is variable of what? Our lambda function. Okay, but the total function that is kept under a triple variable. Now you pass the value here. Okay, if I pass the value here, okay, how do I get the triple? Okay, now you will get what? If you compare, if you run this one, so syntax error, you need to put one more bracket here. Okay, you compile this. Okay, now you are getting 18. So now what happened? This function, same lambda function used in another function, but it triples. Okay, triples. So now let us do some more practice over the lambda function, which is so useful. As I told you that one is that statement, as per statement, what is the use of lambda function? I have explained here. Okay, that is very important. After that, many arguments, more arguments, 4 arguments I have kept, but only it returns one expression as per the statement, that is completed. And next, inside another function, lambda function can be used inside of another function. So here def is a function. Within that I have kept lambda function. Now total function defined for a assigned for a variable. Now that call that variable, I passed the values. Okay. Whenever you are calling that function, that moment you have passed the value for this parameter, n parameter as an argument. And whenever you are calling this lambda function variable, that moment you have passed the value for this argument. Okay. Now next topic is what? Okay, this is done. This is done. This is done. This is done. Okay, this is done. Okay. Now one more topic I want to cover here. That is very important. That is what this is done. This is done. This is done. Okay, this is also done. Create a lambda function which add three numbers, returns one result. Okay, reciprocal. Let us try to understand the reciprocals of the reciprocal. So how much of time is here? Okay, within 10 minutes or that. So let us use the reciprocals. Huh? So reciprocal means what? Reciprocal, it is somewhat. So how to use the def keyword? First of all, reciprocal. This is a function name I have kept. After that, if I want to keep this as a return type, pass a variable here, pass a parameter as a variable n. Okay. Now always it is to be terminated with the semicolon. Now come in this function returns some what value, like what it returns 1 by n. 1 by n. So reciprocal. Reciprocal are what? Reciprocal means, suppose if I pass two value, so 1 by 2, you will get the 1 by 2 value. So now you print, okay, call that function reciprocal, okay. Now, so what the value will get here? Suppose if I pass, so it is wrong because you are calling the function. So always I told you that whenever you are calling any function or method, you need to pass what? You need to pass what I told you, that you need to pass what? Function and method must be suffixed with the bracket. That is very important. Huh? Okay. Reciprocal. You are calling the reciprocal. Okay. Now within this, you need to pass what? Argument. Otherwise, it gives error. Simply see, try to understand. One more brace you need to keep here. That's why if you will not keep, it's simply try to understand this interpreter. Java, Python is interpreter based program. Java is compiler based. So they will assist a lot to us. So here simply it is giving that error, red mark. No? So if you keep the mouse there, it simply states that, okay, one more bracket we need to keep, parenthesis bracket, not here. Okay, you remove this here you need to paste. Okay, now if you run this code, now simply you will get the error because it is requesting for a positional argument. As I told you that once you pass any parameter in the, whenever you are calling that method, you need to pass the argument. I told you that too. So then what will be the 1 by, so it gives what? 1 by 2. 1 by 2 is what? 1 by 2 is what? 1 by 2 means reciprocal. So 0.5, you will get the answer. So what is the answer for here? 0.5. So this is for, you have written by a function in Python by def keyword. So if you want to write this code in lambda function, simply write key lambda. Okay, lambda function. It is a keyword. We need to use the keyword here, lambda. Then after I told you that argument. What argument? N. Here we have used a n. So then colon. simply expression. What is that expression? 1 by 2. 1 by 2. So this is the expression. Now I told you that the total expression, if you want to call this, if you want to get a printout, okay, print, how can you call this lambda expression, total lambda expression? You need to keep this in a variable. You need to keep this in a variable, okay? Declare a variable, any variable. Suppose t is a variable here. Now you, okay, now total code kept under a variable. The total lambda function kept assigned to a variable. Now I can call that variable, okay, t. Now bracket. Now you need to pass the n is equal to here 1 by n, na? 1 by n. So now you, for n, you pass a value. N is equal to what? 2. So one more bracket. So you will get the, okay, what is the 0.5 again? So what is the meaning of this? How? So same thing, we are accessing, we want to do it with that def function. Normally function def keyword will be used to write the many functions by user defined functions. So that function can be called simply by calling that function, okay, with the keyword print, print statement. Okay. So the same thing I have used for lambda. Lambda function. Result is what? 0.5 what? You can comment here. Comment like what you know. Lambda function used. Lambda function used for reciprocal of numbers. Okay. If you change that, nothing this here. If you change 3, okay, 1 by 3, what will be the answer for 1 by 3? I think 0.33, like what you know, 0.3333, like this you will get. Okay, so this is the reciprocal. I have done with the same def keyword and function created. After that, lambda function created. Initially I tried to brief one function I have created with the def keyword, simple one print statement I kept. After that, this total function part I put under a class student. Now I told you that this function is not a function. Now it becomes method. Initially I have created a function with a print statement. After that I have called that function simply. After that I have created a class. Now this function becomes part of this class method, so it becomes a method. So how that method can be accessed? By either calling that method with the class name. Now this method called with the class name student. Now it is simply in Python or Java called static method. Otherwise simply class method. If I create an object, I can call that method with the object name. Okay, then that moment in Java it is called public method, instance method, okay, object method. Okay, so after that, why? Because no, as I told you that what is the lambda function? It is an unnamed function, takes many arguments and returns expressions. Here I explained that what is the function expression, and you if you miss my class, this total class will be kept in YouTube. Okay, you can get this total class from the starting whenever you are free, because I know that you are the students, you are so busy in somewhere else, and I hope that you are in busy schedules, that's why unable to attend my classes. No issue, all the classes will be kept in YouTube. You listen there whenever you are free and try to digest them, and after that come ask in the classes lot of questions. You generate that, you interact with me, sir, I am not able to understand. Me also many times stuck. coding while writing the code, even in the classes. Okay. So the same classes as I have kept in the YouTube. That's why you can see there how I am getting the trouble yourself. Okay, how they are being resolved. Okay, as it is I am keeping. Okay, okay. Now come down. So next is what you need to understand these 2 period classes. And Saturday also we will discuss a lot of things in about Lambda functions. And Sunday we will try to understand Lambda functions in Java. So next reciprocals. Next is what? Next is what? Next topic is what I want to cover the topic. Ayush, how are you? Ayush,
Yes, sir, I am all good. What about you?
I am fine, my dear. I think you are so busy with the project work.
Actually, sir, last 3 weeks I have been really busy because of my sports and stuff. Like I was more indulged in curricular activities. That's why I was not able to attend.
Okay, no issue,
And
no issue. Don't
yes,
be
sir.
panic and son if you are not able to understand because no student has lot of desires. They are so ambitious. Especially your father told me that you are very much interested in attending of NCC classes like that, and you are very much interested in your makeover. That is gym. You are going attending the gym. So
Yes, sir.
no, no
Yes, sir.
issue. Classes will be conduct whatever the classes will be conducted. It is a promise I pledged from my side up to my last breath. If I am 50 plus, okay, I am expecting that suppose 10 years I will be there, and weekly 3 classes, Friday, Saturday, Sunday will be conducted. Whether anybody is attending, it doesn't matter. That classes will be recorded and kept in YouTube. And if you, even though one boy is there, okay, if nobody is there, class will be recorded. That will be kept. So because now I want to cover a lot of topics in the Java and Python, I tried to complete lot of topics. In mobile, I tried to write 1,000 lines of pages coding in Python and Java, and many lines of many I have sent. So initially, this concept started with the mobile because no, in our India, so many rural areas are there. Many students they don't have the laptops because their poverty. Laptop is so expensive. That's why I started to teach the program in mobile. Still, you can do. I have initially briefed in the starting point. At the starting point, normally I briefed that this is the Android app for mobiles. JV Drive for initially I have written. Normally I will write. Where is that? JV Drive for Java and PyDrive 3 for Python. You download from Google Play Store and you can run in the mobile. Mobile is so powerful tool to write the coding myself. Me, I have written 1,000 lines of pages in the coding. After that, I come to because why I switch it to computer, no? Because in mobile my voice is not being recorded in Zoom, so only dumb I am writing the code. So after that I felt somewhat dissatisfaction. No, voice to be recorded and that is to be kept in somewhere warehouse like YouTube. That is a good repository for further assistance of the students. Even though if I am living in the earth, otherwise I leave the earth. So these classes to be present in front of the students. So you can guide your friends, whomever, without if they don't have any laptop, no need to be worry about that. You can do a lot of code in the mobiles. So now next is what? Reciprocal completed. Next, I want to do some work with the. So 4 parameters I have taken. Na? So this is okay. Now come down. Okay, next is Ambalika. You are studying in Ambalika University, na?
Yes, sir.
So what about your coding skills? Are you feeling that? Are you satisfied with your coding? Whether you are normally na you will get the trouble. Even though very perfect programmers also they will get a lot of coding problems, logic generation, okay, debugging of the code. So first of all, you need to study lot of theory. Until unless you don't have much knowledge over the theory, so the practicals can't be done. Okay, theory is very important. You need to understand a lot of points, then you can implement over the ground. So lambda function